Madam Chair, a military funeral is a one-time event for the survivors. There are no do-overs for something so solemn and heartbreaking for grieving families. That is why this bill has been endorsed by 35 veteran service organizations, including the Military Coalition, the Military Families United, who are here today, the VFW, the American Legion, and the Gold Star Wives. Is to preserve the sanctity of these ceremonies and these solemn occasions, and to allow the grieving parents and grieving family members to be able to hold that service in peace and in dignity and in preserving that moment. We're not dictating the content. What we're saying is time and place to create a reasonable buffer around the funeral service. Well, it's vital and central. I mean, to have such a broad array of organizations, service organizations who understand firsthand and personally, the price that this country has paid, during times of war and during times of crisis, and the families have paid, that we have to lend our support in any way possible. And so I thank your organization for all that you're doing to contribute to making sure that this legislation that expands upon current law will become a reality.
In the beginning, I never thought it would go this far. I'm glad it went this far. I'm glad that I could make this issue aware to many Americans, especially people in my community and Mainers in Maine. I'm glad that the awareness has been made, and now that the awareness has been made, we need to go ahead and act on it. And I think that that's what Senator Snow's ultimate goal is.
He's a treasure because he's an example about what the future is all about in our country, and that appreciates and values the contributions made by men and women in uniform and the families who support them and those who ultimately pay, the supreme sacrifice for this. I mean, you only have to look at Arlington Cemetery to understand the price that this nation has paid and the families have paid for generations. And I've always said we wouldn't be the great nation we are on this earth if it hadn't been for the men and women in uniform, willing to go out there and put their life at risk, volunteering every day. The fact that somebody as young as Zach, who appreciates at his age the contributions of our men and women in uniform, I think is so important to the future of this country.